Hello, everyone. This is Thomas Pepin, NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin, and let's play some NHL. So we are in the off season of season 6, and that is episode 7, where I've taken over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And to recap, we, in these 6 seasons, have won the Stanley Cup 3 times, just after this past season, as you can see here. Been to the finals, Game 7, on a 4th occasion. So we didn't win in the Game 7. Our goalie got injured in the game, which kind of sucked. But so that's 4 times in the Stanley Cup final, 3 of those Stanley Cups. 5 President's Trophies in the 6 seasons. The only one we didn't have a President's Trophy was this past season, but we made up for that with the Stanley Cup. And yeah, so now we're working on setting up for the next season. We have we're on the re-sign phase, so we have to sort out our coaches, who we're going to keep, and so on. At the end of last stream, if I recall correctly, I did all the qualifying that I'm going to do. And yeah, most of those guys I think we're trading anyways. But yeah, so I guess let's get to it. Now, I haven't seen yet, because we had, what's his face? Doughty retired. And I haven't seen yet what he is. Oh, I thought we had him. See, this is the first time I've owned this game since 2014, so I'm still not aware of some of this stuff, and we are supposed to have Doughty, but I don't know how exactly, or is he a free agent coach? Well, anyways, I don't know. I guess we're going to discover that. I just thought that he would immediately be showing up here, but I guess not. Yeah, so anyways, this head coach we're going to release, even though he's quite good, and he just won us a Stanley Cup. The strategy, well, I haven't even gotten to attempt it yet, because I had a generalist coach before. The strategy is to have, yeah, and he doesn't show up, eh? Thinking about Doughty still. So, yeah, the strategy is to have an offensive coach. And then I like how we currently stand with 2 goalie coaches, or 2 specialists in goaltending. One as an associate coach and the other as a goalie coach. And a B- for a goalie coach is pretty darn good. So that's done releasing the head coach, which if we can't get a guy, then we'll go and hire somebody, whatever we need to do on another 1-year contract and deal with the consequences. Now the trouble here is I don't know what we can get that would be better than this. Is a B at teaching good enough for an AHL coach? He's an offensive coach. Assistant coach. This one's tough. I don't even really know what to do. Again, we can always try to get these guys on free agency for coaches. Yeah, I think I'm going to release this guy. And then I think a B for teaching is good enough. He's B minus. So he's kind of up to standard or what I would expect to have in the AHL. So he's obviously good. I guess he's close enough for an assistant. That's probably not bad. Goalie coach. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. What was he currently making? 602. He's okay with the same. Or it seems like he'll be okay with the same. Should we try to lock him up long term? Do. This is tough. Or do we go for him and release him and go for him in free agency? Yeah, I think we'll actually do that. As much as I should probably keep him, we can always try to get him again in free agency if we can't find better. How is morale amazing? Never seen that before. Anyways, so nothing else needs to be done. Yeah, and I guess based on what's available out there, we could always promote, demote people. I forget if it said if we, oh, I guess we do have a couple rehires. So I think our goal is going to be to try to have Bs or better. So anybody that's expiring on a B minus, we'll get rid of. And then anybody else that doesn't have enough variety. So as an example, this guy's got, oh, it says we have to re-sign, but it said something about 4 years. 4 years left. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, he only has essentially one region that he's any good at. The rest are all not good enough. So we'll release him. He's got a couple. And again, we're not doing AHL scouting since we essentially don't use, well, or trade for AHL players. There's no point. Central and East is, as a result, all we could use. Is that enough? And they're both at just A's. We will release, because that's also not good enough. Even though they're B, we'll figure it out if we need to. Well, and we can always rehire in free agency if we need to. See, like this guy's better, but like in terms of variety, it's just they're only A's, there's no A pluses. Again, for like all the amateur stuff, because we already have NHL scouts. This one's a tough one. I'm gonna gamble and release. If we turn out not being able to get enough good guys, then I'll suffer the consequences. One rest of the world in SHL. So same thing, this guy, not enough variety. So I can see how you know which ones you need to re-sign, but they really should change this where it like stands out. Like another column that, or unless there is another one. Oh, maybe there was. See, it's funny because I haven't, again, this is the first time I've owned this since 2014, so I discover new things at least semi-frequently. Okay, so essentially we just released everybody that we could have re-signed. We'll figure things out. I'm just gonna save. Right before the stream, I was getting pumped up with, I don't know if you guys would have heard Sirius by Alan Parsons Project. It's what the Chicago Bulls used to come out to in the 90s when they had the powerhouse teams. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of their games to know how long it lasted and all that, but it's a killer song. And then the one that I listened to is the Alan Parsons Project, where it goes from Sirius to Eye in the Sky. It's a killer combo of songs. Yeah, anyways, it was getting me pumped. Okay, where else are we at? So Kucherov, we're gonna let him go to free. Oh, I advanced day? Oops, wrong button. This is why I do this. This saves. Whoops the daisies. I meant to select him or release him, and I'm used to some of the other shortcut buttons. So, yeah, it was on the coaching stuff. When you hit the square, it releases. And then here I hit square and it advanced. My bad. And I wonder what we're going to do with Judry, if we're going to leave him in junior. We'll have to see how his development goes. But yeah, we should sign him at the very least. So we're releasing Kucherov. Now, this guy, he wasn't good. Wasn't horrendous either with us. He was good in the AHL though. If it's two-way, yes. If it's one-way, no. Sorry, bud. We're releasing you. See, what's with these guys that play in the AHL and they expect to get one-way contracts? It's just not happening. I mean, even if you play outstanding, like this guy is a prime example. He's asking for two-way though, so we'll totally do that. And he'll do 3. Do we want to do 3 seasons with him? Yeah, I guess, based on his performance. Again, the duration doesn't really matter too much because we can always trade, as we always do. 71 points. I'm interested to see if he'll do two-way. No, I didn't think so. You're gone. I felt like I just released Phillips there because it reordered them. What's your story? 18 points in 26 games. How'd you do in the playoffs? 6 points. If we need you, we can get you in free agency. So his plus minus wasn't good enough, but his point production was. And the thing is that we need both to be strong. Did well in the playoffs, though. What's he asking for? No chance. Him we picked up for free. Did he not even play? I guess he never got put into the... he got put into the playoffs. And still wasn't good enough. So, goodbye. He did outstanding coming up to our team. All things considered. Was great in the AHL. Top 6D. I have a feeling he's going to want one way. And he does. He's not getting it. $63 That's a lot of penalty minutes. Look at that, 102. What player type is he? Where's yeah, this doesn't make any sense because fighting skill's not high. I have no idea. Oh yeah, I did want to do that. Doesn't want a two-way. Oh, I don't know if it counts as giving me any, or where I should receive any credit, but we did win the Calder Trophy, whatever, the AHL Championship as well. I think it's our first season of that too, because I don't think in the other seasons we won. So the rest of the guys are all signed still. We qualified those guys. Signed Judry. Our goalies are signed. So I think we are set. Let's just double check because I've got the checking problem. I know it's pretty risky to, well, we just won a Stanley Cup. Risky to go without a coach, and especially when you just won with a guy. It's a bit crazy to let him go. And yeah, just a reminder with some guys like Sonnenberg, well, McKay in particular, he was asking for something like 13 million. Never, ever, ever. I don't care how good the player is, never give players contracts like that or that kind of percentage of your team, because like look at all the contracts you can have. Well, these ones don't really matter, but all of our NHL contracts, you can really afford an outstanding team if you just pick out your contracts. And if you can't, so either re-sign guys you got for reasonable contracts, pick them up in free agency, or trade for them. Never get stuck with those crappy contracts because you're going to be limited in what you can do and your performance is going to suffer. So, and on that subject, I thought Dubas would have learned his lesson, and then he goes and picks up Carlson at 10 million or whatever. I'm sure people are going to say I'm crazy to think that that's bad, but I mean, they're going for it now, whatever, if you want to argue that that it's a reasonable decision given the age of all their players, fine. But you could have two players, you could have double the performance for that salary. So, I don't know. Don't like it. And don't like him as a GM. Now, again, it's easier said than done. I'm not an NHL GM, but I think we're good to proceed. Nice. 6'5". 6'5", 203 at 18 years old. I didn't look through all of his X Factor things, but he seems to be, well, I think he's a two-way or power forward, one of the two. But he seems to be kind of a unique player, like a two-way kind of player. I'm interested to see how he'll fit on our lines and stuff. And especially if, another thing is I haven't seen the impact of having an offensive coach on line fits and all that stuff. So we'll have to see, because again, that's another risky thing is I've got this team all optimized for a certain coaching style, and then once you change the coach, what's going to happen? And I don't know is the answer. This is so I did a bit of testing before I started doing live streams of franchise mode, but remember I haven't owned this game since 2014, so all these little nuances that are new, I don't know, and I'll have to navigate those live actually and figure out what to do as you guys are watching me here. Okay, let's save again. All right, so we just did the trading block, so we don't need to do that. One thing I'm still debating on is, do I try to go and reacquire Pastrnak? Because it was the Sharks we had to trade to. See, the trade value's very high. He still had 3 years left. Brought him to 35. So it's a really team-friendly contract. And one I should maybe want to have, and his performance has been great. Well, his goals kind of dipped last season, but otherwise, getting 30 plus goals, point per game, is not too common. I mean, we have a stacked team. We actually have no concerns whatsoever. We can even function as we are. Because what do we even have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I should put this into forwards only. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 forwards. So we have all the roster spots that are most important already locked up. So, I mean, we don't need anybody else if we play everybody. I think Jujri's going to actually go to junior because 81 overall I don't think is good enough by my standards to start playing. And in particular, the poise would be concerning. Oh yeah, let's look at the X Factor things. Puck battling, shot blocking, interceptions, defensive stick, and shutdown. Wow. So we really, is it two? Yeah, two-way forward. That's interesting. I wonder what his line fit's going to turn out being. Because he might be a stud to keep forever. Now, again, assuming we can sign him at a reasonable contract, because we're not spending those, like I said, 13 million, whatever contracts. 10 million's, well, starting to be reasonable now with inflation of contracts, but like cap limits and stuff. But Yeah, I'm still surprised about Ollie going from elite to franchise because he didn't even play that well last season. Anywho, so before I start thinking about this Pastrnak thing, let's see what free agents are out there. See, like, look at some of these contracts. 12 million, 11 million. Like, there's no chance. And see, this is a great example of a guy we used to have. He's asking for 9 million. And we got something, well, I don't know what we got for him, but trade him. If they don't want to sign for a reasonable deal, trade him. So Alex Tuck and people already want him, eh? 63 points. We don't even know our coach yet. So line fit's not gonna make any sense. I think Brat was available last offseason. We're not. Oh, but yeah, he might not be third line. See, this is tough because we don't even know what we're dealing with coach yet. And I wonder how exactly it updates once you get a new coach and when. Anyways, all these things are, like I said, new to me. I was going to go away to the coach things, but I'm just going to have a look at this again. See, Kucherov's still not asking for a crazy amount. That's what he was asking for from us. And we could still sign him again, just a 1-year extension. Well, in this case, it would be 1-year contract because we released him. Crazy, crazy, crazy. $61. Not bad. Reasonable cap hit. Um, 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 um. Well, there's nothing that stands out dramatically for me. What's the story with defense? Whoops. Morrissey at 8 million. 48 points, minus 32. He was probably playing with Winnipeg. I don't think they were good yet. Hmm. 8.1. I think we got rid of Sider 2, didn't we? I can't remember now. So we've got space for, well, I mean, we have 25 million in cap space. And I don't think we really need to sign much. I mean, I'm not making any decisions right this moment. Kind of just getting a lay of the land, see what's out there. Hamilton's a reasonable contract. Man, at 7 million? I think we're going for him no matter what. 42 points and 69. How's he been previously? Really good. Wow. Wow. Oh, I keep forgetting about age though, because I'm thinking about at this moment now in real life, but in the game he's 35 now. In any case, I don't think he's going to deteriorate too much. But he looks like a potential pickup. And for $1 million difference, I would take him over Morrissey. Now, Morrissey's probably going to keep his overall, because I think it's at like 35 they start to slide. But I don't think Hamilton will slide by too much. And not anything that's going to dramatically impact his performance. So so at the very least we've got Hamilton. We'll consider the rest later once we get a better idea of a few other things. Oh, I should have checked goalies too, my bad. So for us, as always, we try to spend at most 2-ish million on a goalie, and so we have this Versteeg guy. What's his story? I think his poise was low. Hey, NHL lover, thanks for tuning in again, and thanks for commenting. Miller, I guess, was another free agent guy. I'm not sure if you noticed him, and I didn't, but I don't think I need more than one defense. I'd have to go back and check, but yeah, I'll take a look. Miller didn't stand out to me though, so I mean maybe I wouldn't go with him. So I'm trying to get these guys that are all like, well, everybody on my team I kind of want. Well, I think, well, you would have seen by now just the kind of expectations I have for players and stuff. So, like 85 overall. I'm trying to pretty much put together 4 lines of 85 overall or better. And it's worked. So I think maybe he's not quite what I'm looking for. I don't know, but we'll see. This Versteeg guy's interesting. The problem is the poise level. I'd be concerned, and he's not going to want two-way. So I don't think I'm going to go with him. But anyway, so we've got maybe some other guys to consider. We'll probably do it as normal, where we wait to see how people, how their demands change for contracts. This guy looks like a two-way. I guess not. It just wants league minimum. Anyways, so that gives me an idea just kind of what I'm looking for. The big one that stood out was Hamilton. But yeah, I guess we'll see. What do we need for D? So I think I traded... I didn't trade Cider. So I tried to trade Cider and it didn't go. Oh, and now I can check what they want to re-sign at. 8.5, no chance. So he's getting traded for sure. Provorov, we still have... How many years do we have left? Only one more after this year. Slavin's still good. I think he's, about the same. Hronek wants to extend. He's not asking for much. So we are going to extend Hronek however we figure out the contract in the end. Because it's going to be reasonable even with, looks like a raise. Because his performance has been fantastic. 60 points as a defenseman is pretty unreal. I guess that's it. So if we're getting rid of Cider, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 D, but Heg is more 6th or 7th defenseman. So really we have 3. So we kind of need 2 D plus a depth D. So Hamilton's going to make a lot of sense. As long as we can afford him, I think we can. Yeah. And then, like I said, with forwards, we're all good. We've got our top 9. Like, this stuff's nuts what we have. He doesn't want to extend. What's he asking for? It's not crazy. If it's under 10 and even under 9, it's reasonable. One thing I don't understand is this extension thing. So they say they don't want an extension, but I've tried to offer before and then they go for it. So it just doesn't make sense. What's this guy's story? 2 million? So he's an easy re-sign. My captain, that's a good question. I think what I was doing was, so was Slavin, then I think I changed it this season. I know Slavin was one of the captains. I think I kept him as a captain, to be honest. And then I think I put Nichushkin and Von Fersen because they both signed with me to extensions at reasonable cap hits. Now, both guys, Nichushkin I think played on our 3rd this season and didn't play that well. Like 10 goals, 31 points is not good for what I wanted. This 56 or the 69 points is more what he should have gotten. But sometimes he can have an off season. He's only 22. So we won't count him out yet. And then Von Fersen also had a off season. So he had 30 goals, 20 assists, 50 points, and then dropped. So I'm pretty sure it was Slavin captain Von Person and or did I change Hughes to a captain? Because he's won the Conn Smythe 2 years. He's been outstanding with us. And yeah, Slavin, I mean, in real life, I think he's an assistant with Carolina right now. Um, who's their captain? Was it Stahl? Anyways, um, where else do we need to consider? So to be honest, we might actually re-sign all these guys, even though they say they don't want to re-sign. And we should do it now before their overall increases. And we can always trade them if they don't turn out fitting. So, cool. So that's good information to know. And we didn't have anybody else to consider there. Goalies. Mrazek, we're not going to extend ahead of time, and the reason is because he's at the age where he starts to deteriorate. So, or where, from what I've seen, what I think I've seen, they start to deteriorate. So, yeah, I forgot to check in the system stuff. Nolan was a bit disappointing last season, but he's still got, well, I mean, he's 23 as a goalie. That's lots of time. He's the only goalie computer generated that actually had a decent poise and wasn't like crazy expensive to get. So we still have him for 7 years. 7 years at 1.125. That's the thing, is get them when they're cheap. If you're going to ever sign anybody long term. I'm not, in real life, I'm not really, stupid thing. I'm not for long-term contracts because you don't like to get stuck in things, but it's a video game, so you can kind of cheat a little, I guess. I don't know if I'd call it cheating, maybe being more responsible with your contracts. Okay, so we have to trade McKay and Sonnenberg ASAP because we don't want to have an offer sheet on either of them. Man, and Sonnenberg got a lot better. And see, this is an example, like, look at this guy. 38 goals, 34 assists. Most people, I'm pretty sure, would re-sign him. 10.9 million, not a crazy cap hit. But no chance. I think he was asking for before like 13 million. Never overspend or you won't be able to keep a good team together. Okay, so I think another thing I'm going to need to check is what's out there for young players that we're going to consider trading for. So those guys we're going to be trading, we can go for a first overall pick, or we can try to get a young prospect if there's good ones out there. So we should have a look at that quickly. $14 million for a defenseman. No chance ever. Oh, yeah, NHL lover. There's probably a whole bunch of things. I won't go over like all of them, but so you know how you can see what a coach's preferred market is and like interview them, they should do that with players too. Now, I don't, it might be overkill because you have to sign so many players and um, what have you, but they should do the same thing. Why not implement the same concepts with players? Because then you know if you can maybe sign for less dollars um, because they want to go to your type of organization and stuff, but we don't know those kind of details. What else? Um, I don't think it properly does LTIR, which um, for me is important because when you have injuries and stuff, like you can totally take advantage of that and stack your team even more. Uh, Now, I probably wouldn't because you have to give up assets for rentals and stuff, and I don't like the concept of doing rentals. But just at least have the option. It's something. Maybe it is in place, and I've just kind of missed it, but it doesn't seem to be there. There's probably a whole bunch more. Just on off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. How many years left? One. He's probably going to want too much. Barkov. Exactly, yeah, exactly what you just said there. Um, or like the size of the market or whatever, all the exact same things that they do for coaches. But again, like, so you have to find a balance because it's a video game. You don't want to make it so complicated that, uh, so for example, like a 13-year-old kid that really likes hockey and wants to manage a team, you don't want to make it where he's going to be not able to do it. Now, of course, you can change your settings and make it easier on you, but uh, the fact that they already have it for coaches, as far as I'm concerned, why not just implement the same stuff? The programming is probably similar. All you have to do is just translate it to players. Now, it's just like I was saying, to do that for all the contracts you have to sign. Um, as it is, I disregard it for coaches for the most part and just offer whatever I'm willing to offer. And if they take it, great. If they don't, they don't. Um, but for people that actually want to try to be very specific, it's not a bad idea. To think we traded away Bedard too. He was actually asking for a reasonable contract, but he wasn't a good fit for us. Yeah, exactly what you're saying there. Like, I mean, if you add features, people can choose to use them or not. But yeah, for me, a lot of things like that I'd like to see. So a great example, actually, I forgot about this from last stream. So I wanted to trade for the first overall pick, and the thing gave me 3 minutes to be able to execute a trade. Like I would have had from the Stanley Cup final, the end of it, all the way until the draft to offer trades. To give me only 3 minutes to try to put together a trade is just so stupid. Like I would never put it to the last second like that. And within 3 minutes, like I know that's kind of what it's like when you're on the trade or sorry on the draft floor and you've got a time limit. I get it, but I'm not one of those guys that would do it at the last second. Like trade deadline, I barely do anything because it's just not my strategy as a GM. So just like that's a bit gimmicky. The morale thing, I haven't even used it because it just seems like I don't even know what it's like. Um, but it seems like it would be gimmicky because like managing morale, how can you really quantify that in a video game? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't even try uh, to see how it works or to try using it. So I guess there's a couple other things. Oh, I'm sure Bedard's going to be fine. I think players are so skilled nowadays, and he's had so much pressure on him already. I think he's going to be great. It's just if he has good players to play with, that's the problem. It's always the problem with young guys going because they get drafted by crappy teams because the teams have to be at the bottom to get them. So, yeah, so it depends on who he's playing with. I think already they've tried to pick up some reasonable guys, but of course we'll see. But yeah, I think he'll be fine. We've had like Zegras come in and do well, and a lot of young guys do well now when they start. So yeah, I think he'll be great. The one thing I dislike though about the young guys nowadays is they hot dog it a bit too much. So like trying these lacrosse goals right away in the league, like I mean, if you can pull it off, fantastic, like good for you. But just like, well, I think NHL Love You, you've seen my Be a Pro games too. The more you keep it simple, the more goals you're going to score. Like low shot rebounds are always great. Uh, I mean, it's oftentimes it's um, the simple plays that actually turn out being goals. Now, I mean, I don't have statistics behind that to prove it, but I mean, it's I think pretty obviously the case. So, anyways, so I just find that he tries to be a bit too fancy from what I've seen. Um, but I kind of agree with you. The problem is if you make it too even, then the bad teams never have a chance to get better. So it has to be like a decent balance between the two of like you could open it up to all the teams and then just change the odds and increase the odds for the teams that finished worst. And yeah, then it kind of compensates for opening it up to everybody. So you can make like the odds like 1 in 1,000 for the Stanley Cup winner. But why shouldn't they have a chance at getting the first overall? I mean, I don't know. It's tough because like I think about things kind of historically and too much change from how it used to be kind of is tough for me to get used to, but I do agree with you though, definitely. At least to some degree. Like it just shouldn't be that you tank and rebuild, because that's what everybody does, and it just doesn't seem to. Who's this guy? And those are NHL numbers. 43 goals to start. Sorry, I'm distracted now. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, it's just the tanking and stuff and rebuilding that way. I don't like it because you it's like your easy way out to get back into things. You should have to actually do a good job of managing to have a good franchise and then just fire your GMs if they're not good enough. I think that should be how it is because like you can have a bad GM do well because of just tanking and and drafting first overall picks a whole bunch of years in a row. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. So we'll see you again next time, NHL lover. So far it doesn't look like anybody stands out to trade for. So we might actually go with what we have and then round out the rest of our roster from free agents, which actually would be a good thing, because then we can use them as assets and trade them away eventually. Do 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 9.77. How many years left? 4. So 9 point something million is starting to become a reasonable contract. Do. You didn't do that great. I think we might, it's kind of funny. I think we might have all the good young talent on our team already. Oh, yeah, this Kane guy was the guy I was considering before. This Cogliano guy, 17, and he's 81 overall already. He might be a pickup. Man, he's got some talent already. I'm going to write him down, and we're probably going to go for him. Cogliano, New York. Oh yeah, those are AHL numbers. So we don't really know how good he is yet. He didn't play well. Bottom 6. Left wing. We've got a lot of left wings already though. I don't think he's quite what we're looking for. I think, under other circumstances he could be, but we're in a position of strength where we don't really need Stutzla. Yeah, anyways, what I was saying, in a position where we don't really need anything that doesn't fit perfectly. Where were those from? He's another left wing. There's a lot of left wingers that get drafted, like on the high end. Yeah, and we should consider Pastrnak again. And that Brennan guy was asking for, yeah, and he's a defensive defenseman. We don't want him. Was there another guy there? See, another guy we used to have, but we're not paying $13 million for anybody. Who's this? He's a center. Two-way forward. I think we also like this guy. Bernier from Vancouver. This guy's new too. Oh, he's defense. Ooh, I like this guy. Poise is low, but if he's playing third pairing, that's perfectly reasonable. Another guy. Grow low. That's Vegas. This was another guy we were considering before. Played well. How many years left? Yeah, we don't know what he's going to want. And who's this? Another guy. He must have just been drafted. Yeah. He's a D two-way. He lacks loyalty. That makes me hesitate. What did it say about this guy? Very loyal. See, I think this probably actually comes into effect when you're negotiating contracts. I haven't paid too close of attention, but I bet you anything it's has a big impact. I could still go for him though. I'll write him down. Valcourt. That's Winnipeg. So there's actually a bunch of guys to consider. I'm just going to go back through things one more time quickly, see if I missed anything. Oh, it was Heischer was the guy available last offseason. 8.4 is totally reasonable for him with that performance. And I have to check goalies too. That's another thing before I forget. Krog we said was a no. I forget why though. Oh, it was line fit. Again, we don't really know because we don't have our coaches yet, but it's probably accurate anyways. Four years left at 5 point something. Huh. That would be a good pickup. Do. No. Yeah, the one, I think I said this already, but if not in these exact words, we have the luxury of being picky at this point because we have um, so many good players. We can do essentially whatever we want. The problem is so we really did poorly with the first overall picks that we traded for. They turned out being, one was in the Stanley Cup final against us and the other one was kind of middle of the pack. So we didn't get any good value on those, which sucks, but sometimes that happens. What's this guy's story again? Yeah, defensive. Man, I'd like to get Pastrnak back. I have a feeling we won't be able to in the end. It's funny because all the guys we're going to trade for are pretty much like the top three picks in this past draft. And the thing is, their trade value actually is less after being drafted um, than the trade value before being drafted. So actually, and that's a good point. Maybe even keeping first round picks in the game doesn't make sense. In real life it does, but in the game maybe not. Because why don't I just trade for the players after they're drafted? The only one where it makes sense is the franchise guy, because the trade value bar is all the way to the max, typically, for franchise players. But I guess, yeah, I would only draft a franchise player anyways. Okay, so I think we've gone through everybody except goalies. You have no goalies? That's not a good start. Let's put these in order by overall. So now what I'm looking for is any of the drafted guys that are 80-ish overall. And so essentially 80-ish and young. Otherwise, I don't want to wait for development. It's not worth it. Like this guy, I think must have been, yeah. But like 60, I'm not waiting until he gets to be a starter. So that's where, like I was saying, the Nolan guy we had was the only one at a young age that could start playing in the NHL. So it doesn't look like anybody. No. Okay. Now the other fun stuff. So let's go start with coaches. So we need an offensive coach. Let's hope there's somebody out there. So, and I don't know exactly the impact of coach influence on things, but I have a feeling that teaching and coach influence are most important, so that's why I prioritize those. It doesn't look like there's any good coaches. So we might have to do the same thing as before. Just do a temporary coach. Or this guy's not horrible. He's not gonna. Oh, he's not asking for. He's an associate coach? Really? That's wild. Huh. I might give him our head coach. 53 years old. Wish there was a better way to filter this too. So B minus is just not going to be good enough. Well, you never know. Let's take a look. See, the thing I'm thinking about with that guy is he's only asking for like $1 million as an associate coach. Oh, Brent Burns, there he is. Blake Wheeler. That's hilarious. I haven't seen yet. Dowdy, I wonder where he sits, because I thought he was going to be with us, but he yeah, he didn't fit in right away. Because I thought if he retires with your team, he becomes the coach, but I guess he just becomes an available coach. A plus and B. So this is the guy we saw before. A, B, A. This guy's an option too. I just don't like the fact that his teaching is a B. He's asking for $4 million. I'd rather go with the other guy at 1. Same thing, $4 million. They're not any better. Let's see if we can find Dowdy now. What does he do? There he is. Oh, he's very mediocre. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so then do I just lock up a guy? What are our current coaches like? He's an A minus. Teaching, coach influence. A, B, A, B, A, A. A, B, A, B, A, A. I guess between all the coaches, we're not that bad. And if I sign him at a... What am I paying my current coaches? 2.6. Pay him 2.6 as well. Man, this one's a tough one because just the options aren't that great, but I think they're good enough. 2656. I think we're gonna gamble and go with it. So let's interview him first. Okay, that's good news. Market size. Huh. So I think he'll sign with us. Two, 6, 5, 6. Oh, I should have checked this before I started doing that. Aggressive, weak side lock, forecheck, puck side attack, tight point, 1-2-2 passive. I don't like the passive box, but it's still not a big deal. Overload. I'm okay with that. Carry, absolutely. Roll 3 lines is better. All pairings is fine. Carry, balance, dump. I wish we prioritized shooting a bit more, but yeah, why not? And if I can get him for this cheap, I'd rather that over paying like 7 million for a better coach, and I can just keep this guy for a long time. weird strategy, and I've never tried it before, but we're going to try it now. That's the most? Why can't I do more? It says I have 7 million. Well, hey, if it's going to limit me to that, then so like last time, we're just going to gamble and only do one and see what happens. For that at least. Now with our AHL head coach, are we keeping him in his role? .887. Let's see if we can get a better AHL head coach. I know he just won a championship, but that's not anything to me. And then, yeah, I guess it's 900,000 is like the most we'll spend. Is there any other forward focused coaches that are good? He's an associate coach. No. He's not bad. He's also not bad. BBACBB. A C. Okay, so then we'll try to get that other guy. Where was he here? Falk, I think. interview him. So 887. Okay, so we're offering him AHL head coach. We're going to demote. He's a generalist. Demote him to associate. He wants NHL associate. Let's just try. funny because we're going for a B minus coach, and we're putting him as the NHL head coach, and he wants to be AHL head coach. Isn't that crazy? I am crazy. Oh, this guy's pretty good too. So we'll try all those guys. I am going to check. So it's assistant coach we've tried. What I was going to say is I'm just going to check about goalie coaches, just out of interest, if anything stands out that we should go for. No. So we're pretty much okay with everything else. So all those guys are going to compete for the AHL assistant coach. And then I forget if we tried multiple people for the head coach. We only tried one guy for the NHL head coach. I'm pretty sure he's going to accept. So yeah, so I think that's good. We'll do our scouts too. How many A's do we have? Well, he's got two at least, OHL and USA East. Or she, I guess. You good at OHL Q? Nordic. Only good at one? It's not good enough. I should check these anyways, just in case. So we offered two. And I think we need 5 total. How many B's are there? Not so many, so I can go through all of them. That's a no. No. Couple A minuses. Is that enough? I think this is one of the guys we had before. Oh, this guy's got tons. That's 3. 4. I know that's one. I'm pretty sure it's a guy we had before. 2. So I think it was this guy that had 2 things. No. Who was it then? This guy. Okay, so we offered 5. We have 5 spots. So I think that's good. Coaches done. Scouts done. Okay. I hope the head coach, NHL head coach thing works out. AHL, I'm nearly certain something will. Well, the AHL in general, I think, should work out easily, but the NHL one, I think I'm only trying that one guy, so. Okay. All right, next up. So I think what we're going to do is go for, I think it was this guy. No. Vegas guy. So we're going to pick this guy up in a trade. Okay. So we should try to get more back in return. Is this guy our priority? Give me a sec. Let's double check about this first because I want to make sure. the highest trade value guy we're using, well, we're pairing up with the other highest trade value guy. So we should want this guy too. This centerman. But he's not priority at the moment. And then it's the Islanders guy. Cogliano. He's left wing. Hello, Oliver. Thanks for tuning in. So, I think it's the Vegas guy, or he's got the same trade value. In any case, this guy's more important for me. What was his poise? 74. Okay, so let's try to get some other stuff back. Second round pick, I doubt it. Let's try anyways. Third and a fourth. We'll just go through the motions because I never know what they're gonna go for. It's probably going to be 1-for-1 in the end. Or we might even have to give up more. Seems a bit ridiculous. And it is ridiculous. Oh well, I guess I'll have to deal with that. Oh yeah, we've got all our future picks now. Well, that's good. 7th, 6th. I have a feeling this is going to be another one of those ridiculous trades where you have to give up double or more. But whatever, I'll do what I need to. Let's go 7, 6, 5. Okay. That works for me. So we got rid of an annoying guy, picked up a guy that I think is going to be good long term. So where do we sit now? So we have Slavin, Provorov. Hronik we're going to extend. Hag is going to be on the third pairing. Or the seventh. Grolo. We'll put him on the third pairing. So then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. That Valcourt guy says that he's not loyal, I think. Yeah. So I'm just not going to bother with him. We have him, so I can take him off the list. It doesn't look, just with assets that we have, that we're going to be able to trade and get Pastrnak back. That's okay. We'll figure that out with free agency. We are a heck of a young team, though. And then there's a Vancouver guy, Bernier. What was he? Center. Or Cogliano. So, oh wait, what position was he? Only left. So then we'll go for Bernier as well. Not sure if we have the assets to pull this off, though. Oh yeah, we do, because we're getting rid of Cider. What else do you want from us? Not Sonnenberg. I feel like we should get rid of Thompson because he's never going to play. 7.1 million. He is kind of useful, though. 41 points, that's not much. Is there anything else that we can trade? So let's not go to him yet. We'll try other stuff first. Whoops, why didn't that go? For Bernier and... third and a fourth. 4. Okay. So I know the stream's supposed to be done by now, but I think I'm going to go till I get all my trades done. um, and then, yeah, we'll do the free agency stuff tomorrow. I don't think I have a stream tomorrow, actually. But anyways, next time, I guess. Well, what else can we do? First round pick's not that important. As long as we get something reasonable back. I really don't want to give this guy up, eh? Huh. What did we have? No, third. All right. I'm okay with that. Let's go save this. So that Cogliano guy I might not be able to get, but I'm going to try. Because we still have Sonnenberg available. But I think that guy's too expensive. What are we going to do here? Panthers. Huh. I wonder if we'll be able to pull this off. Ollie, we're going to re-sign. Martin's re-sign. Maybe I should check that first here. Because in theory, we might have to trade somebody else because of cap space. Three years. I think that actually makes sense. So we'll have his RFA status at the end there. It's a bit risky because we don't know how he's going to turn out. So if he turns out being really good, then he's probably going to ask for a lot. But he could still be a fair negotiator. We don't actually know. But I'd rather own his rights and then use him for the season and trade him at the end. And at least have the option rather than lock him up, because I could lock him up super long term at cheap. But then I think his trade value is going to be garbage. I don't know. Anyways. And we're going to do 0.9 times 2.3 to 2.325. 0.9 times 2325 is 209. And if he rejects, or like let's say he rejects and then he doesn't want to negotiate anymore, then we'll trade him. Because we're not in a rush with these guys. We could even trade them at the end of the season too, because we own their rights. So we'll at least attempt with both of them here. So he wants 8.7. How has your performance been? Not that great last season. Not the worst, but am I willing to pay 8 some odd million? Well, he's a franchise. Well, he went from elite to franchise. He could maybe shoot up in his overall. There's kind of a lot going on here, so 9.6. Yeah, we'll do it and then deal with it afterwards. Again, same sort of thing. If he doesn't take it, we'll trade him. If he does take it, then we'll figure out what happens in the future. So 0.9 times 8.775. So I think I said this before, but I remember reading somewhere that I think you can offer like 85% of their demanded salary, but I just do 90 because it's close enough. And I'd like to, give the best chance of signing. 897. So 79 is the closest I can do. Cool, so we'll see what happens with them. There's nobody else to extend. But I do have to do something with what's his face? Sonnenberg. Alright, I'm just gonna save again. Oh, I think I forgot to offer another extension here. Give me a sec. Yeah, Pironic. What's the other one I was supposed to do? $6,625. So I think the ideal age to extend to is 34. I think at 35 they start to deteriorate on their overall. Is there any optimal length or anything? No. So 4 is ideal. And look at this. So I'm getting 60 points per season out of a 6 point something million dollar player. Other people are making like 13, 14 million. It's literally double. Literally, like exactly double. Why on earth, when you could have two players putting up 60 points, would you not do that and get one player producing that same amount? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're getting double the performance for the same price. Anyways, 6.625. 6.625 times 0.9596. 596 we can't do, so that's close enough. Cool. Save that again. Sorry, I was just updating so I have a Word document that basically a procedure that I follow at different points in the season and between games and stuff, and so it's just updating my order of operations. Actually, I forgot to do something too. I'm gonna change one more thing. Yeah, the order I currently have it documented as, I think, is not ideal. At some point, I think I'm going to do a stream going over all that stuff, showing that document, maybe even sharing it so you guys can use it. Because, yeah, it really has helped me not to miss things and stuff. So I'm going to max out coach budget and scout salaries just in case, because I don't know if it impacts the ability to sign people. So I'm just going to put those up to make sure. Okay. That's good. We did coaches, scouts, the extended players. Now, what do we do about Sonnenberg? And who did we... So something else I should double check about is where our forwards are at. So we have 1, 2... Wait, let's do this in overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still not sure if we play Choudry or not. Oh yeah, we're gonna do free agents, I think, to fill out the rest. So we're not gonna play those guys. We'll send them back to juniors. So those guys are not included. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players. And just like look at our team already. We have 30 million in cap space. That's nuts. 30 million in cap space. I said it was 8 players, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 8 players. Yeah, the rest. So if we've got 8 players, that means we need 4. And how many defense do we have again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically we can spend 20 million on 2 defense and 1 to 2 forwards. The reason I say that is because basically 2 of the fourth line guys are going to be $1 million. We can get away with that. So if we have 8 players, that's 2 lines and then 2 of the third line. 2 of the fourth line are going to be $1 million approximately. The 13th forward is going to be about $1 million. And then, yeah, one of the fourth line guys we would want to have good enough where he can move on to the third line, second line, whatever it turns out being. So that's two forwards and 2 defense for ballpark 30. Well, no, 30 minus 3 spots. So 27 million for 2 forwards and 2 defense. And then 27 divided by 4. So about 6 million each. One of the defensemen is going to be probably 1 to 2 million. So then it's more like 25 divided by 3. So, so this is the thing about doing all these entry-level contracts. I can spend 8.3 million on 3 players. So basically anybody I want to choose from free agency. Brilliant. Now the one problem is, as you might have seen earlier, is our assets are very low right now. But anyways, we were trying to figure that out because we want to know what we're going to do with Sonnenberg. And I think what we're going to do is pick up a first round pick. And between these 2 things, we should be close. So it's just a question of figuring out who is going to be not very good next season. We got it wrong last season, but I don't think there's much you can do about that. Because previous seasons I've gotten it dead accurate, so yeah, you never know sometimes, I guess. Chicago, maybe. So far, Chicago is the best. We already have Seattle's. St. Louis doesn't look that good. What is their goaltending like? Pretty good, actually. How much cap space do they have? 20 million. Tampa, same. Ooh, but they got no cap space. Do they still have Vasilevsky in net? They do. They have 2 goalies. Man, Washington looks like garbage too. 17 million in cap space. That's their goalie. Sorokin. Is that enough to make this team good? 17 million versus 21. What's their goalie like? Oh yeah, and Washington's in a tough division, whereas Chicago's not, but their goalie's no good. This one's tough. I don't think we can even pull off the trade, but... Oh, and Sonnenberg's going to make the team better. Oh, but eat up cap space, so it's not a bad idea. Let's try and see if we can. And we've still got other assets we can use to pull off this trade. So it seems like we got a shot. But you don't know till you know. Okay, so just out of interest, I'm going to go over and see what Washington's first round pick value is. Because if we can pull it off, then I'll take Washington instead. That'll be good enough. Okay, so neither of them with this. What else do we have? Phillips, we just re-signed. Suzuki, 57 points. Let's see if that's enough to get us over the hump. No. Then... Oh, I might as well just try Washington while I'm at it. Anybody else that isn't a good team where it's close? Four. Man, Edmonton's no good. Who's their goalie? This one might actually go through. Or not. Nope. See, and the tough thing is some of the teams that finished dead last, they're not the worst teams. And it's weird trying to figure out why. This team's not very good, and they don't have much cap space. What's their goalie like? Montreal's not very good. They have a good goalie. Nashville still has Saros, probably. New Jersey. Ottawa's no good. See, the thing is I think they're all going to be the same difficulty to pull off. So I might have to just trade Sonnenberg for whatever asset is equivalent, so like a second round pick or something like that. Uh, 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 uh. Alright, I guess we'll just do that then. So we'll go. I don't want to trade their second pick. Who does? I guess neither of them. So we'll do. Oh, wait, no, that won't work. One of these. So where we upgrade our pick, or at least we're going to attempt it. So I guess that's not going to work. Oh, not even 1-for-1. Fourth for a fifth. Six. Seven. Fourth for unsigned draft pick. 1858. Okay. All right, so I have more trades to do, but I'll deal with those next stream. So, for example, all the AHL guys that underperformed, I can trade all them. Yeah, stuff like that. Okay, so maybe didn't get as far as I would have wanted to go, but good enough. And I keep having this thing in the back of my mind where maybe I should have traded Kucherov because I'd have more assets right now. Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Maybe what I should have done was signed him 2 years. Actually, that is what I maybe should have done. Signed him 2 years and then traded him in the offseason. We can always do that this time, or whoever we sign. Or we keep people too. And because we've got so much cap space, in the end we could sign many players and then trade whoever doesn't fit and all that jazz. So, yeah. So I think maybe that's a lesson learned moving forward for future seasons is to maybe, no, but I couldn't have oversigned more people because I just didn't have the cap space. This time around, I'm going to have tons of cap space, even if I sign people. So, yeah. Anywho, okay. So, yeah, we will leave it there. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. The channel homepage has upcoming streams on NHL content. Nothing scheduled at the moment, but probably soon, since the off season's probably mostly done for transactions. But I'm probably still going to wait for a couple more signings and stuff. But anyways, for things that can't schedule ahead of time, on the platform like franchise mode, that schedule's in the about section of the channel. I have a temporary schedule because of some other things that are going to get in the way from the normal schedule. And rather than go through it all, if you just take a look at the about section, all the days I'm going to be doing franchise mode up till yeah, I guess up till, because it says the 24th, but I was trying to think if, and then it goes to normal schedule after the 24th, I think. Yeah. So anyway, so all the way up to the 24th of August, that schedule is in the About section. It's the same time every day. And be a pros whenever I have time or feel like it. Any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions, likewise. And we will see you guys. I don't even know. Whenever the schedule says. So that is, I think, Saturday. Yeah, so Saturday the 12th for the next franchise mode. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Once again, thanks to NHL Lover for the interacting and everybody else that tuned in. And we'll see you guys then. Okay, bye.